Minasan, konnichiwa. Today I will talk about what you need to do before you enter Japan for the first time. I'm not trying to cover everything with this video because it will be impossible. In this video, I will focus on important things that often other videos on YouTube overlook. I'm also going to mention some of the services and partners used by Gogo Nihon. This is because they are services I trust and I'm familiar with. When I introduce an affiliate link or service, I will say it clearly in this video so you know. Please always do your own research since new services are coming out all the time. Ready? Dewa, hajimemashou. The main international airports in Japan are the Fukuoka International Airport for the southern part of Japan, Kansai International Airport for Kansai arrivals like Osaka, Kyoto, Kobe, the Chubu Central Air International Airports for Nagoya and Chubu area, New Chitos for Sapporo and northern Japan, and of course Haneda and Narita for Tokyo, Yokohama, and the Kanto area. Which airport should I fly to? Well, the closer to your final destination, the better, I would say. If you are flying to Tokyo, you have two options, Haneda or Narita. Haneda is much closer to downtown Tokyo, but Narita is the one that is served by the most international carriers. So there will be more flights for you going to Narita probably, but if you can land in Haneda, you will have a cheaper and shorter commute to Tokyo. In general, long-term foreign residents of Japan, such as students and workers, are required to enroll into the national health insurance. The national health insurance covers 70% of most of the medical bills, while the insurer is responsible for the remainder 30%. Patients must show the insurance card at every doctor visit. There are still cases in which you want to take a private insurance on the top of the national insurance. For example, number one, since you will have to spend a few days before enrolling into the national health insurance after you arrive in Japan, it will take some time before you can do so. It is important that you have a private insurance from the beginning, including the time, for example, of your flight to protect yourself against the cost of lost passport or a delayed flight or some medical expenses that you will have in the first few days after you arrive in Japan before you actually enroll in the national health insurance. Number two, another case is for long-term residents, if you want to be covered also for the remaining 30% that the national health insurance doesn't cover. Or number three, of course, for tourists, since tourists cannot enroll in the Japanese health insurance system. My company, Gogo Nihon, partners with World Trips, and we recommend them as a reliable insurance broker. Their insurance package covers both medical and travel expenses, as well as charges incurred in the case of COVID-19. Once you will have paid the premium, you will receive the policy documents and terms and conditions via email a few days before you arrive in Japan. There are many other private insurance providers, and regardless of which insurance provider you choose, ensure you read the policy documents. At the very least, your policy should cover lost baggage, loss of official documents like your passport, and money. Make sure it also covers higher priced items such as laptops and cameras if you are bringing such belongings with you. Getting a local SIM card for your phone can be tricky in Japan. If you're living in Japan for more than 3 months, we would recommend buying a phone plan, but plans with the big mobile providers like NTT Docomo and SoftBank have steep monthly fees and hidden charges. Support might also not be available in your language. Instead of a traditional provider, we recommend students and other long-term residents opt for a mobile virtual network operator like Mobile. These providers are lower cost and more flexible. Plus, you can order your SIM card before you leave for Japan, so it's ready for you to use as soon as you land. You will receive at your home address abroad. You'll be able to cancel the contract without any extra fees. And the support is in English too. I will leave the link in the description for our partner Mobile. Mobile also guarantees that the majority of profits go to its charities. Maybe a SIM card isn't for you, or maybe you want an easy Wi-Fi option, or maybe both. Rent-top pocket Wi-Fis are easy to organize in Japan. Once you fill an application, you can have the pocket Wi-Fi ready for you to pick up when you land at the airport. We partner with Ninja Wi-Fi, and you can use our special coupon code GOGOWORD to receive the following benefits. No activation fee, which will save you 3,240 yen, better insurance in case of you lose or you damage your device. Please check the info in the description of this video. To move in Japan, you can download and use some very popular apps like Jordan or Navitime, but Google Maps actually here in Japan works well, giving accurate position and information in English on where you should change trains, commuting time, etc. For translation, you can use also Google Translate, especially the image translation feature that is handy with kanji. But if you want a better translation for text, both from English to Japanese and to Japanese to English, I suggest you use DeepL. You'll find the link in the description. They have a free version that will be okay for the majority of you. I don't have any affiliation with DeepL, but I personally use it since the quality of the translation is higher than Google Translate. For taxi rides, forget Uber here in Japan, since you have very few drivers available and you often overpay them, even if you find one. I rarely use any app for calling taxis, since at least in the major city, it's pretty easy to find a taxi just walking down the road. For messaging and making friends, you want to install Line as soon as possible, since in Japan, everyone has it. But keep in mind that sometimes Japanese people prefer to exchange other SNS like Instagram accounts rather than Line. One of the first things you want to buy when you get to Japan is probably a prepaid IC card like Suica or Pasmo to get around and save fees on your train and underground rides. You can avoid having to buy tickets for every trip on the train or bus, and the contactless smart cards are rechargeable. You can use those cards not only for transportation, but you can use them to shop at many stores and vending machines. You can get it at the airport, and I suggest you to get it as soon as possible. Depending on the city you live, you'll have different options, for example, Pasmo or Suica in Tokyo, Ikoka in Osaka, and more. Opening a bank account in Japan can be a hassle. I'm sure you heard about it, especially if you don't speak Japanese. And using bank cards from your home country will incur international exchange fees. That's why I recommend opening an account with Wise, formerly known as TransferWise. Wise offers you the ability to hold money in a multi-currency account, transfer money internationally, handy if you need funds from home to pay, for example, for the school or for the rent or living expenses, and use also a MasterCard debit card here in Japan as you normally would at home, all without paying high fees. I'll link it in the description. If you want to send money to Japan at a discount rate, another option for bank transfer is XE, a world-leading currency service that offers money transfers, live currency exchange, and market analysis. It is regulated in every country that it operates in. I link also this in the description. Online food orders and grocery deliveries are really handy for you if you are in isolation after arriving in Japan or just you don't feel like cooking. Uber Eats is available in Japan and works well and is in English. But there is much more. I feel a separate video should be done about it, but there are new services coming each month here in Japan. So I'd rather point you to a great blog article we have in the Gogo Nihon blog about where to order food online in Japan during quarantine. But as I said, this is not just for quarantine, it's for any delivery you may need. Having a community around you is important as you venture in your new life and study experience in Japan. Aside from your school classmates, a great way to find a community is to take part in language exchanges. This way you can not only meet other like-minded Japanese learners, but you can also meet Japanese people who are interested in other cultures. You can already start using an app like HelloTalk before coming to Japan, and then when you're in Japan, you can browse meetup.com to find groups and activities related to what you like. I hope the info in this video will help to make your life easier when you enter Japan. If you want to go to Japan to study, you have Gogo Nihon that offers a free support to answer all your questions about living and studying in Japan. That's everything for this video. If there is something I didn't cover and you have questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and mata ne!